I'll just do this. This will just feel easier than having to raise my voice because I am sick. In our last 2-3 days in Nice, I got really sick really badly. I had like a really high fever and I felt like I was dying last night. Not fun, especially since it's like the end of our trip, you know. Obviously, like, I would have rather I kind of enjoy whatever time I had left because I wasn't really enjoying the beginning of our stay in Nice. Mainly, it's been just social issues, I'll say. I have the tendency to automatically have to pretend around people. I don't think I can exist as myself ever, which is a sad reality, I guess. I'll always have to be pretending for others. And then it really makes me think, like, the reason I do that is because I don't feel safe expressing my opinions and my concerns. And the more someone validates those concerns, the less I'm likely to express myself. And maybe at the end of the day, it's just me. There's something wrong with me and I overthink things. And I think also at the same time, I'm so unbelievably terrified of having the slightest misunderstanding or argument or disagreement with someone. I've realized over this trip that perhaps I am not a likable person. The reason I kept feeling so out of place and sociably just not, completely myself is because I find myself to be too different from the rest, from the people we're going out with. And it's not to say anything about them, but it's really led me to self-reflect. I love those girls. I've known them my entire life, and I care about them so much. Perhaps that's why I was so much more terrified of saying anything that could make them dislike me. But it's really led me to self-reflect on my life, the type of person I am. Again, I just don't think it's a person most people would enjoy to be around. Anyway, everyone today went out for Monaco this morning. I wasn't really feeling well, so I thought I should sit this one out, and also because of my illness, anxiety, as well as just kind of the situation I'm in. I'm not really the most fun to be around, especially right now, so I just decided they'd have more fun without me anyways. But yeah, what are you gonna do, I guess? Tomorrow we leave at around, I think we have to be at the airport pretty early because it's high season, so we'll have to leave at like 3. It's made me really think about as well the type of person I am. I'm not really one to very much enjoy outings like the ones we did here in Nice. The only place I really did truly enjoy was the Billionaire's Bay in Antibes. Antibes was really nice. I wish we could have done more than just the beach. Maybe that's just the type of person I am. If I just go to the beach, it's not enough. Like every single day. I love beach days, but if it's every single day, I need to do something else. I don't know, or it has to be something significant. That's why I really enjoyed Antibes, because it was really pretty. France wasn't really that enjoyable for me, but that's only because of my personality. I did enjoy a lot of aspects of it. Perhaps in a different situation with a group that enjoyed different outings, I would have really enjoyed Nice as a whole. It's very familiar. Every time we drive somewhere, I always think to myself, this looks so much like Beirut, or this looks so much like Lebanon. Sometimes I'd see the beach and then I'd see like mountains somewhere and I'd be like, that looks like something I've seen in Lebanon, those mountains, those trees. And so, the familiarity of it, I really enjoyed. Look at me talking about Lebanon, bringing it in whenever I get the chance to. When I think about what makes me so sociably, personality-wise also different, I truly only can think back about the way I grew up. But then I think my sister grew up the same way I did. Why isn't she more like me? At least she can, I don't know, I find that socially she's much better off than I am, which she would disagree with if she heard me say that. And times I also really wish I could have been different. I wish I could have enjoyed this like any other normal person would have enjoyed this. I don't know why. I think I enjoyed Italy more because we weren't forced to have dinner so late. So it was really getting on my nerves how the gap between breakfast and dinner. We literally never ate lunch, and I'm not used to that system. I knew this was gonna happen coming into this because I felt the same way in Batroun, and I knew this would be like much more emphasized on if it was for 2 weeks long. I think if I went out with them, they would have really hated me eventually, I think. So besides the fact that I'm sick, I also decided to stay out of the rest of the plans so that they can enjoy it better, and so that I don't ruin anything for them, because I really do think I was ruining it. Overall, I did enjoy many aspects of Nice. I think it's just there's something wrong with me. On that note, goodbye. Okay, I went down 6 flights of stairs and had to go back up because the elevator isn't working. And I got some food delivered because I really cannot be outside for too long. I feel like just the tab alone makes me feel like sick. Anyways, I got some salmon donburi. Okay. Wait, guys, I can actually smell like the slightest bit. I was so scared that I can't taste anything. They didn't pack anything else with it, like utensils. Got some. Got this. It's like green tea with some type of berry. Oh, guys, I can actually smell something. It's good. The anxiety was killing me because whenever I can't smell anything, I'm like, COVID. And even though no one's really like, and COVID's technically just the flu nowadays, it's still like a big thing. I really wanted to go out and have dinner with everyone today, but they all had lunch at like, when they arrived to Monaco. I thought we were gonna have dinner together, but since we're not gonna do that, I ordered something to eat. Salmon is good for, has a lot of health benefits. If you're sick, it's good to eat, so I thought I'll get the salmon. So right now, I'm kind of treating you guys as my friends since I chose to stay home alone. To be fair, I was a lot worse this morning. Like, I wasn't even in the mood to talk, and now all of a sudden I just want to talk 24/7. So fun. Now, why is the only vegetable in here fleifle? I don't like fleifle. I guess since we're here, let's do a review of the trip as a whole. First, we started out in London. London was actually really nice. I really enjoyed London. However, I was there in the summer, and even in the summer, it was a tad bit cold. So I don't know how I would feel about living there, because I do need the sun. But it was a nice break from the heat. There was still like some heat. Like on the day of the festival, it was pretty sunny. I can taste the stomach. We're good. And apparently this also has like vitamins, and when I get sick, I'm already very paranoid about getting sick, so when I do get sick, I'm so much more aware of the fact that I need to eat healthier. So right now I'm just getting everything that's healthy for me. London was also really nice. Certain aspects of it reminded me of Canada and Toronto, but like Erta with more personality. Because like London, it's known for some things like the telephone booths, or I don't know, like there's certain things about like England that are personalized, has its own personality. And then when you look at Canada, it's like I mean, and I don't mean this as like people's culture. I mean this more in terms of like the physical atmosphere of a place. So I really enjoyed London because it was somewhat familiar while also very interesting. What else? Because of the way that I grew up, constantly going from living in a city to living in a town or village or whatever, in the mountains, Lebanon, or wherever. And they're like two completely different things for me to live in a city and somewhere else that has more nature. So London satisfied the part of me that enjoys the city. Although I do say I do not like cities. So when I do enjoy a city, it really says something, I guess. For instance, Milan, which was our next stop, I enjoyed in terms of certain architectural places and history and museums. I really enjoyed going to those places. But as a city in itself, just the atmosphere of the city, it was enjoyable, yes, but there were certain things I didn't enjoy. For one, how early everything closes. I like the security of having everything available. But that's not always the case for every country. Not really something I can do about. Other than that, I don't really know what it is. I enjoyed the food, and the public transportation was very easy. If we had more time, we'd see more stuff. I think a lot of people talk about Milan as being a little bit boring, so they say. Most people have this misconception of it just being for shopping for some reason. I really enjoyed the museums. I really enjoyed Duomo. It was so pretty. I just kept staring at like everything inside, and it's just wow. So Milan was really nice. But as a city, would I live there? I don't think so. And then we went to Lake Como. There's so much to say about Lake Como. In terms of transportation, Varena is a little more like limited, or around Varena, because in Varena we were Humilate or something like that. I don't remember what it was called, but we stayed there because we booked like last minute pretty much, and that was very stupid of us. I'm feeling better already. I had my hat in mind while I was going up the stairs. I packed them with me at the hut because I was scared while I was going up the stairs my nose would start running. But you know, so far I'm doing so much better than I thought I would be. After that, I could suddenly taste everything again. Yes, not taste it again, taste it more vividly. That's some good stuff. Now, Varena was very nice to stay in because it was a very cutesy small town. When we went to Bellagio or Menaggio, it was so much bigger. They were bigger towns to stay in. They had more stuff around you for convenience. In Fiumelate, where we were staying, I'm really hoping that's what it is, because that's not what it is. It's like so embarrassing. We stayed in Fiumelate. Yeah, is there a way for Google Maps to say it out loud so I know if I'm saying it wrong? Anyways, I don't know why. I think there weren't many stuff around us. It was so much less people, and so there were times where I did maybe feel a little unsafe. We had one bad experience when we were trying to find somewhere to swim nearby, and we were walking to try and find the place, and then there's this guy on a motorcycle stopped, and there was like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was kind of like a ledge, or not really, it's like something written on the edge to the lake. There's like a path behind like a rock where you can walk. You know, we were sitting here waiting because I was trying to figure out where this like mini beach is, and then this guy got off his motorcycle, hid behind the stone, and was just watching us, and we got really creeped out. And when we left, he left. I really wish I could exist on this earth on my own sometime. I enjoy places when there's no one, but when there's no one, that makes it so much more unsafe. Why on earth did I have to be born female? Come on now. So unfair. On that note, Fiumelate was a little bit scary, but we did find a really, like, the place where we could swim there was really nice. I enjoyed it, again, because it wasn't crowded, because there aren't people. I really enjoyed it, but at the same time there was like this family swimming there as well, so we felt safe. So it was really, I enjoyed that. Varena was difficult to get to from where we were staying. We had to have a taxi take us because you couldn't walk, it was too long. There was no like public transportation like buses or anything that could get us there. If you care about convenience, I would suggest against staying around Varena. If you want to stay in Varena, stay in Varena. Then there's more stuff around you and you can get to the ferries easily. We usually had to take a taxi into Varena every day rather than spend the day where we were located. Bellagio was really nice. We didn't spend too much time there, but I remember we had fun. But I think I enjoyed Menaggio more. However, Bellagio was so much more convenient for public transportation. That's what I found. I think because its location makes it more convenient for those types of public transportation. And Menaggio is also somewhat convenient for public transportation because we're thinking here besides the ferry. However, people were having trouble if you're arriving to Bellagio or Menaggio, not directly to them by land, and you had to take a ferry from another location to get to those towns. You were gonna have to like carry your bags down a bunch of stairs to get to like the ferries, and the ferries themselves are always so crowded, and there's probably a lot of waiting and stuff for people. So I don't know. Menaggio and Bellagio would have been more convenient. At the same time, living in the center of any of those towns would be so much more convenient regardless. And because everything closes early in Italy, it made us getting groceries so much more nerve-wracking because you had like a time limit. You had to get to the grocery store before it closed, and we tended to go out pretty late. I don't know, get back home pretty late, and we didn't want to carry our groceries around. But it was really a lot of fun. I think 4 days is perfect. 3 to 4 days is perfect for Lake Como because there are so many places around where you're staying at that you can see. There's Nesso, there's Bellagio, there's Menaggio, Varena. Depending on where you're staying too, you'd want to visit these main spots. And there's also the main place, Como, like the town itself that you could visit. So I think Lake Como deserved those amounts of days. I'm probably having more fun talking to myself than I have fun around people, which is really sad. And then Nice. To be honest, I expected more of Nice and like the Côte d'Azur in general. From the videos I've seen and all, I was really hoping we'd do so much more than what we did. I felt like they weren't, most of them weren't in the mood to do much of those things as much as I was, and also like their schedules work differently from mine. That's why maybe in Italy I was enjoying it a lot more, because we were kind of sort of forced to wake up early and do things that way, but they enjoy to take things easy, I guess. I wanted to see something significant out of South of France. I wanted to really like be wowed away by it, but I wasn't, and I think that's why I didn't enjoy it as much, because I had much higher expectations. I enjoyed it as a city. I could imagine myself living here if I learned French. But yeah, people are actually nicer than I expected them to be, especially because I've gone through airport security in France before, and they were not nice. Not nice at all. And so I have some sort of trauma from France. I was a little nervous when we first arrived, but it did exceed my expectations in terms of people. I will say that. There's a lot of Arabs, a lot of Lebanese people, which is really funny because Dana and Zena didn't expect there to be that many people that spoke Arabic, because every time someone would speak Arabic to them, they'd be so surprised. But I guess I'm used to it because in Canada there's a lot of people there too. What else? I enjoyed the beach. I will say that at first I was like yearning for more. I thought there'd be more out of the beach. I love like rocky beaches with nature and all, but obviously the beach in Nice isn't gonna be like that because it's a city. But when we went to Antibes, and from what I heard the others tell me, Cap d'Aille is also really pretty. Sadly, I won't be able to go. But yeah, I was expecting more out of the beach, but I was satisfied when we went to Antibes. I feel like we just had more in mind to do when we got here. We ended up doing less than we had in mind, so that's why I think I'm also not enjoying it. In Italy, we were able to plan out our days well and actually somewhat stick to those plans. But here it's sort of just like all over the place, and there's no predetermined plan for what the next day could look like. I'm not saying that we have to plan out every single detail, but if you give me a broad idea of what the next day is going to look like, I feel mentally and emotionally secure. And no one has been giving me that, so it was really stressing me out. For one example, I was planning on waiting till they come back, and I thought we'd go and have dinner together, but they didn't really decide to do that anymore. They were initially going to have breakfast in Monaco. Not anymore. Anyways, not the point. Oh right, we went to Cannes. First time we left Nice to visit any other area. It was Cannes, and Cannes was so overhyped. I liked like the streets when we went in and like we walked around the certain shops and all. I enjoyed that area, but the beach was so overcrowded. Like quite literally, when you look in the ocean, it's sparkling because of all the tanning oil. That was insane to me. Like just swimming in that was insane to me. I was like, no way. It was a bit much. Too much in my opinion. And because I also don't enjoy crowded places in general, I much rather swim somewhere where there's no one or like few people. So that's why I also didn't really enjoy Cannes. I really thought that I wouldn't enjoy France in general at all, because by that point when we were in Cannes, I was really like not having it. I was not enjoying myself at all from the moment we arrived here. So I really had like at that point I lowered my expectations to the least. So the next day when we went to Antibes, I was really happy. I really had fun in Antibes. How do they say it in English? Antibes? I've only ever talked about this مع مريان بالعربي, so I naturally just it's Antibes, right? Anyways, let's not focus on the pronunciation. And then yesterday, when we went to Antibes, I was already feeling like I was about to get sick. But I really wanted to ignore that. And I thought to myself, maybe it is just like, maybe I'm exhausted, whatever. Because sometimes that happens to me after we travel. So I've gotten used to that. But then I woke up the next day, which was yesterday, and I was not feeling very well. But I did not expect myself to immediately go into like fever, headache, that zone, and it was not a fun experience, especially because they ordered breakfast. We didn't go out to eat, so that meant like my options were limited. I only got coffee and a croissant. I can't say croissant, I can't say croissant. And then I think they ordered food around like noon maybe, and then there was nothing in the fridge. There was nothing for me to eat. There was the kitchen was empty except for like water, and I had this like flan creme caramel thing that I ate with breakfast so that I could feel like at least a little something more filling. Sadly, tomorrow is when we leave. This is so sad for me. What are you gonna do? Anyways, so yesterday was held. So because I had nothing to eat, I had to wait till they got back and ordered something. I was really hoping when they'd get back, they'd get groceries so that I can eat something healthy, because we've been eating not that healthy these days. So I was really hoping that Lana could get me something, and then she didn't, and then that just made me feel worse. They ordered Five Guys, they ordered burgers, and I got a burger, a mini one. I'm pretty sure I had like a fever multiple times yesterday, but then I sweated out overnight, which was really good, but I woke up still feeling like shit. Like my knees hurt when I would get up and I would stand up. And I thought to myself, there's no way I could go to Monaco like this. But now I'm feeling better, and I'm thinking, oh, now I could go. And I tried to text them to see if they're still there. Maybe I could catch up with them. I texted them like 2 hours ago. No one answered. I can actually taste the apple in this now. مكتوب pomme, jus de pomme. Also, on that note, my French skills kind of better than I thought I was. But also, I'm very disappointed in myself because I grew up around French and I can't speak it. I blame my father. Like, knowing how to speak 3 languages is just so cool. Like, everyone can speak 2 languages, minimum, in my head. Like, it's just so easy to be able to speak 2 languages. I find, like, 3 and over to be much more impressive. I just found myself, like, having a couple second delay in understanding what someone would say to me when they would speak in French. So that was a little funny. But I'm also the style of, like, when it comes to French, I can understand more than I can speak. Also, you can just understand from context. I'm feeling so much better now. This is a big plus. But I'm so sure that they're gonna come back feeling like really tired, so they won't want to go out tonight. Although I was really hoping we could go out tonight. I want to go outside today, like, so I can feel a little better. بابا عم بيحكينا ولا رايح على لبنان, so when I get there he's gonna be there as well. Although Puff قاعدي, don't know what's about it. Yesterday when I was talking to Baba yesterday, he was like, there's a flight tomorrow to Nice, do you want me to come? I was like, no, especially because he's traveling right now على Lebanon. That was madness. Who on earth would suggest such a thing? بابا كتير بيضحك, but let's not get into that. Enjoying my time alone, I will say. So much better than being around people, because I really needed this break. I had a panic attack امبارح. Okay, also, because I was having a high fever, I was like searching up symptoms of a fatal fever. Guys, my illness anxiety is no joke. It's actually like that bad, and I started having a panic attack while I was having a fever. And the panic attack, on top of that, I was already having heart palpitations because I searched up like, oh, how to tell if you have like a fatal fever and whatever, and it didn't really give me a straight answer. But there was like, oh, difficulty breathing, fast heart rate, and I already have heart palpitations. Like I already have that. Like, that's a big thing that's possible to happen for me. And so I was fever, headache, my entire body is on fire, and I'm shivering at the same time. I feel like shit because no one, literally when everyone came back home, no one, ما حدا طمن عليا. I don't want to sound like that, but ما حدا طمن عليا, and it made me feel like shit. The only reason it made me feel like shit is because of my illness anxiety. I'm always worried something like the worst will happen. And I kept thinking to myself, oh my god, like, what if I die because of this fever and none of them find out till tomorrow? Because I really, like, that's what it felt like. Like, no one paid attention, no one asked, no one came to see Shuwada or something. And really, it's more about the illness anxiety, or maybe that's what I'm telling myself. But I really felt like I was dying. The fever was just so bad. I could not get up, and my head was ambibij. It just felt like shit. So I felt like shit mentally, physically, and emotionally. So fun. Then I had a panic attack while thinking about that, about how if the worst comes, no one will give a shit. No one will even notice, because no one even like bothered to ask how I was doing when they came back. And mind you, they left at noon and they came back at like 7 o'clock. They walked in, they did not even like say hi to me. Like, I had to get up and go into the room to ask her when the food will be here for someone to acknowledge me. And I don't want to sound like that, but it really felt like shit, because I was already feeling like shit physically and mentally because of the illness anxiety, and then that just like made me feel like shit emotionally. It was not fun yesterday. not fun. Can I talk more, please? Because I'm so bored and I'm so sad during now. Your mom found out in أنا ولانا we were going to Europe. She told me إنه هي قالت لي قبل إنه كانت بانا راحت معكم. And I really thought to myself, oh my god, why didn't I think of that? And then حتى لما سافرنا I kept thinking about you like we could have مثلا met up مع بانا or something, because she told me إنه you were wanting to travel لحالك somewhere. And if I knew of it, like, we would have maybe like talked about it potentially. On that note, I also felt like shit for seeing Stray Kids without Bana, without Naya. Bana is the reason Lana likes Stray Kids. Okay. Because I liked Stray Kids قبل, but Lana kept ignoring. And also she wouldn't let me like express things I liked. Marra, I tried to play, was it Set Me Free by Twice? And then she was like, nope. So she was very adamantly against that. لما رحت على لبنان, I got Naya into K-pop. And Naya was like really enjoying Les Seraphim مين كمان? New Jeans Stray Kids for the most part. I think those are like the main things that Naya got into that summer. And Lana was still like kind of no. And then when we went to Jordan and we visited Bana and Maya, I finally had someone I could like play Stray Kids music with, right? And even then Naya wasn't really into Stray Kids like completely. She was, بس ما كنا عم نحط بالسيارة because it was just me and Naya that enjoyed it, and everyone else would be against it, especially Lana. If Lana didn't want us to play a song, we weren't gonna play a song. So because of that, Lana wasn't very much exposed to Stray Kids as much as I would have wanted her to be. Anyways, point is, رحنا على الأردن and finally like we were playing K-pop وهيك, and then we forced Lana to watch Red Lights. I find that so funny that was the thing that made her like خلاص. Or actually, was it like an interview? Context. Lana has an obsession with like Australian stuff, Mako mermaids, all of it, you know the deal, like Australian accents, let's say. So we made her watch an interview, and I thought of I told Bana, let's show her an interview of theirs, because at least for me, when I see like a human side of someone, it becomes like it's so much nicer. That makes sense. So I remember the first interview I saw for Stray Kids, and it really made me perceive them in a very different way than what I thought they were as artists, which was really interesting and intriguing. So I thought, let's show her an English interview so then she gets like an idea of kind of who they are from a perspective that she can process easily. That's why it was an English interview. It's something she's somewhat familiar with, rather than having... Because also, another thing, Lana disliked watching anime with subtitles because she couldn't focus. And so every time I'd make her watch an anime, we'd have to watch in dub, just so that she could enjoy it. That's why I also said, let's watch an English interview, because then it'll be easier for her to receive the content we're showing her. But it's really funny to see how much she changed now. Like, she'll watch anything with subtitles now, which is really funny to me. Anyways, yeah, we showed her an interview, and then she was like, "Ooh, the Australian accents!" And then we showed her Red Lights, and then that's how her bias became Bangchan. It's funny every time I think about it. That was a fun summer. What were we talking about? Right, so Bana's the one that technically introduced Lana to Stray Kids, even though multiple factors would also say I also introduced her to Stray Kids, but she doesn't like to admit it. So I felt really guilty about going to see them without her. If I knew she could have traveled, I would have literally done everything to take her. We could have taken her to like the one in I Days. I would have given her my ticket so she could go see Stray Kids. Even though I really enjoyed it, I would have given her my ticket so she could see Stray Kids. I'm not an insane fan, but she is somewhat an insane fan in comparison to me. So yeah, I felt guilty seeing them without Bana. And then the reason I felt guilty seeing them without Naya was because we always promised her that we'll take her to see a Stray Kids concert. As time goes on, the chances of us actually being able to take her just like smaller and smaller. And I feel really bad because every time, here's the thing, when we were watching like them perform, FYI, my favorite thing about anything they do is their performances, because I just eat that shit up. Wow, I love it. Moot yani. Anyways, when they perform in the T-zone thing, is it called a T-zone? This is all the T-zone. No, the center thing that they'd walk on. Anytime they'd perform there, I'd get like a really good direct view of a lot of the members. But every time I'd see Ayan, I always think to myself, oh, Naya would have gone crazy if she saw this. I kept thinking about Naya. No, oh, she would have loved this. She would have, because I remember like the first time I went to see One Direction when I was young, and it was like a very like big core moment for me. And even though she's a kid, I want to give her that like experience of seeing her favorite boy group. I feel so sad. But I also like think about I think about what it would be like if she saw them, and I smile because that's how much it would bring me joy if she saw them and enjoyed a concert of theirs. I would quite literally do anything for her to be able to experience one of their concerts. I'd give up my ticket for her. Again, that also applies here. I'd give up my ticket for any of them. Because at the same time, after seeing Stray Kids, I got very depressed. So I thought to myself, maybe I shouldn't go see them again. Mentally not something I could do, if I'm gonna be honest. Because all I think to myself is, what am I doing with my life? I don't know. Point is, I always wished to do something great with my life, and I never got to. And after going, and this is a feeling, again, I said this before, this is a feeling that I get every single time after I experience an amazing project. And I say project because it's a broad, different types of arts and media. Any great performance or project, I always end up feeling like shit about myself. And that's why I end up feeling depressed. That's why I felt really depressed after Stray Kids. We learn to live on with the lives that we have. Find appreciation in the small things and the things that bring us joy and the things that make us us. I think about the very, very specific things that I wouldn't be able to enjoy if I were someone else. Something I get to enjoy out of just being myself. Every time I get the thoughts of wishing I could have been someone else, I think about those things. I think about Teta. I think about how much joy I feel every time I see her, and every time she just showers me with love. It's like the best feeling in the world. And I think about the very unique experience I get to live as a person of the world. And even though I talk about it so negatively growing up the way that I did, I also think it allowed me to perceive the world in a very specific way, in a very unique way that not many people would be able to see. When you live the world from two lenses, you get to see the world in different perspectives, and that allows you to see the truth in a sense. It allows you to understand the world so much better, because if you only understand the world from one perspective, then you don't really understand anything. I think about the little joys I have of editing and filming, and actually that's me pursuing one of my dreams, I guess. Posting on YouTube is something that brings me joy and artistic fulfillment. Yes. I think about all the small things I love to take cinematic shots of, and I think about how that's my way of showing the things I find beautiful about the world. And I love the beauty of those things. I love sharing that beauty. And I think about how much all of my family means to me. And I think about how much I mean to them. And then I feel grateful for who I am. Hey, I'm kind of good at this. Redirecting my depressive thoughts. Look at that. And I did that all on my own. It's actually kind of crazy how I did that all on my own. Usually you need someone to tell you, like, oh, think about it this way maybe, or something. Because just like last week, every time I thought about Stray Kids, I'd get super fucking depressed about myself. And now it's like, I know how to redirect those thoughts all on my own. Look at me go. So, here is to a better future. One with more accomplishments, for sure. But most importantly, there's a word I'm looking for. One with more content. And I always say this. I don't care about living a luxurious life or a grand life. I'm just looking to be content. And I hope the future looks like that. I hope I make the most out of the rest of the summer while it lasts. And thank you to anyone that's actually been following along this journey. I don't think there is anyone. I don't really have many returning viewers except for Naya, Sarah, and Lana. Quite literally, I'm not even joking. It's just they're the only ones that watch my videos, and sometimes I do get like a good amount of views. Returning viewers 6. I have no idea who those 6 are. I possibly know half of them, but I have no idea who the other half are. To those 3 people that I don't know, hopefully I don't know you, because if I do know you, then that makes this much less of an accomplishment. Anyways, thanks to anyone that has been supporting my videos. And I don't know how to end this, damn. I never know how to end anything. Well, I have a couple seconds and then this video will cut off anyways. It cuts off at 30 minutes, so okay, yeah. Bye. So weird.